This week I chose prompt B, which was when is fan engagement beneficial and when does it cross the line? And after thinking about this prompt for a few days, I think that there is a very fine line between fan engagement being beneficial and engagement going a little bit too far. Fan engagement can be wonderful for fans. Social media, especially, can create a space for people with a common interest to share in their experiences and their love for a particular person. Right now, I've seen a lot of people posting on TikTok or Instagram about their Eras Tour outfits, or will film a TikTok at Taylor's concerts. The love that those people receive is overwhelming, I can imagine. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people will flood someone's comments with love and support, which is an amazing part of fan engagement and the culture that surrounds it. There's also a strong sense of community within fan engagement. I've heard the term internet best friend before, and I've seen a lot of videos of people who will fly across the country to actually meet someone that they have met online and have really connected with. It is fascinating to me to see how new friendships can grow and how a support system can be built all because of a similar interest in one particular artist or person. I remember my freshman year meeting a bunch of people and being able to bond and form new friendships with people just because we had similar interests in a certain artist. Also, during sorority recruitment, you have to meet so many people and are only allowed a few minutes with each person. One of the most common questions that I will ask PNMs or potential new members is who their favorite artist is. Usually, right after I say this, people will immediately light up and talk for a while about their favorite artist. It is interesting to see the reaction and hear the way that people start to talk a little more excitedly when asked about their favorite artist. Even though there are many positive aspects to fan engagement, it can cross either the legal or ethical line and become dangerous. The ethical line can be crossed when fans send each other or an artist hate. This can be done by commenting mean things on social media or posting mean things on their personal accounts. This can be taken even further by sending hate directly to someone's house. Finding personal information like phone numbers, places of work, or addresses and contacting people that way is what I feel is crossing the ethical and even legal line. One example of this was two fans of different artists started fighting online. I'm not entirely sure who the two artists were, but I do know that one of them was a Nicki Minaj fan. But they were arguing online, and someone actually flew across the United States and showed up to the other person's house, trying to start a physical altercation. The police were eventually called and the situation was de-escalated, but this is what I would consider crossing the legal and ethical line. Stalking is another example of engagement crossing the line. I have heard countless stories of celebrities that have been stalked throughout their careers. One example that comes to mind that I instantly thought of was Drew Barrymore. During her show, her stalker that had been tormenting her actually showed up to her live show and forced her to run backstage away from him. This is definitely an example of when fan engagement crosses the line and can become very dangerous for that celebrity. I can imagine experiences similar to Drew's can be very scary, and it would certainly make me nervous for the future. Another recent example of fans crossing the line was at Tana Mongeau's live show. A fan jumped on stage and started running towards Brooke Schofield and Tana Mongeau. The motivation behind this act was never specifically stated, so the intention behind doing this is unknown, but Tana has had previous experiences with stalkers and scary encounters with fans in the past, so this really scared her and caused her to run off stage very quickly. This is another example of fans crossing the legal and ethical line. In Dufette's fan practices, the author speaks about fanfics or fanfictions. The author explains that RPF stands for Real Person Fanfiction. Reading this reminded me of Anna Todd, who is the author of the After series. The original series was based on Harry Styles and was very graphic in nature. Rumors began to spread and articles began to be written that Harry Styles was so freaked out by this that he actually filed a restraining order against her. And I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate information, but it does seem like it could be true. And that is another example of crossing the, not so much legal, but more of the ethical line.